talking about building a business for resilience, to be resilient for business for the present day time, building a resilient entrepreneurship mindset. First of all, to be an entrepreneur, you have to be ready in the sense that your mind has to be prepared, because like I tell people, the negative energy is always stronger than the positive energy. So you must, first of all, make sure you don't allow negativity to set in before you start any business. I mean, like they say in the local parlance, if you bark at every dog, if you turn at every dog that barks, you never get to your destination. So there are bound to be challenges as you start up your business. There are bound to be ups and downs. You have to believe in yourself. You have to ignore whatever challenges are and face it, because every challenge you made is a lesson learned. Challenges are going to come. They're supposed to actually make you stronger. And you have to be, if you have to start a business and you're not resilient, if you don't make up your mind as to what you want to do, it's very easy to get distracted. So in the business world, if you have to start up a business, like I tell people that care to listen, is you start a business model, whatever you have to start, you have to give it an incubation period. For me, my model is a 5-year span. You got to let your business grow within the period of 5 years. You don't live off the business. You just give yourself little stipends and watch the business grow. Business will grow like a child. You know, when you give birth to a child, the first thing the child does is it first of all starts to sit down. It crawls backward, then sits down, and then first of all, when you child, but it starts crawling back. You put the child to sit down first. After sitting down, the child starts to crawl backward, and then crawls forward. Then takes the first step, the second step, and then it starts to mumble and fumble, and then it starts to walk. Then it starts to run as the child gets older. So you have to look at the business as a life. For it to succeed, you have to be determined to watch it grow. I mean, the times are tough, yes, but those who are resilient succeed. Life doesn't come cheap, and nothing good comes easy. So if you start a business, it starts to flourish immediately. I tell you something, there's a trap ahead of you. No business starts and starts making money immediately. It's the wrong model. There are mistakes to be learned. Everybody's unique to himself. That's why we're all different. Everybody's different. That's why God created us all differently. We're all different. Like nobody has the same fingerprint anywhere in the world. So you must see yourself as unique and determined to succeed in whatever space or environment you find yourself. There are no doubts that when somebody come and tell you their story, everybody has a story. The fact that it doesn't work for Mr. A doesn't mean it won't work for you. It depends on how you approach it. So life is about how you see it. How determined are you to make it succeed in this present day time? Businesses are tough, but people succeed. So you have to determine that you will succeed in whatever endeavors you have found yourself, and say, you know what, I must succeed in this area. I didn't start, when I started, it looked as if it was never going to happen. But over time, the mistakes that you learn, the mistakes that you make are the lessons that you learn as you go along. So they're bound to happen. The mistakes are bound to happen. It's expected. And once it happens, you learn from it and move to the next level. You don't just give up. I mean, people will tell you, but it's not working. Yes, that's a lesson God wants you to learn. There's a lesson to be learned in every situation. I mean, if you miss 1, 2, and get to 10, you're definitely going to come back to 1, 2 eventually. So why don't you have to be patient in the terrain, global terrain and our local terrain, and be ready. I mean, don't look at any other person. People, like I see young people's, want to be entrepreneurs and they want to be like somebody overnight. It doesn't work like that. There are steps to be taken. There are sacrifices to be made. Are you willing to make these sacrifices to move to the next level? The big question. I mean, these sacrifices don't come cheap. I mean, if you're a family man, you have to tell a wife, we're going to this business, you have to cut down your costs. Just like people want to start, if you're starting a new business, don't expect that, from the one, you start to live the life you're living before. You have to cut and sacrifice whatever you think that you're doing in the time past and try and live within that business. Sacrifice. Make sure you don't even spend profit on that business for the minimum first 5 years and then watch it grow. Put in your best. Ask questions. I mean, there are models to doing business. There are 3 models. Either you learn as an apprentice, where you be a servant. You learn by getting the experts to do it for you, or you learn by losing money. So you see, as an apprentice, you have to learn to serve. Most people don't want to serve anymore. I mean, the apprenticeship model, we all know worldwide, has worked so wonderfully well, where people have been put to learn from their masters diligently and patiently. They have to serve their master for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. After the master settles them. It's in that period of apprenticeship that they learn all the rudiments. And when they start their own project that learns the basics. On the other hand, if you come out with so much money and maybe you have studied for another business, you have to pay people that know it. You have to spend money. You have to pay experts, learn from them, listen to them. That's why they are experts. That's why, and you have to pay for it. The other one is you have to take, which is the very risky one. If you come and you bring money to a terrain you're not very sure of, the likelihood that you lose all the money is there. And when you lose, there's no chances that you ever get the money back. So you probably you're back to square zero. And you might not be able to survive it. It depends on how old you are. So the truth is, I tell people, you know what? If you want to start business, you have to look at these 3 models and see how you're able to serve. If you cannot serve, you cannot be served. So leadership is all about service. To be able to lead, you must submit to somebody's authority that will teach you, that will incubate you, train you into the person that you're meant to be. But if you say you just want to start without having to, you look at people ahead of you, like most people do these days. Nobody wants to learn under anybody. They just feel, you know what? If the doctor can build a 2-story building, what does he do that is strange? I can build 10-story building. You make a mistake because the experiences that doctor has gathered within the years, the mistakes he has learned from, you have not learned from it. So you have to go through these models to see how it is that people able to grow their businesses. Where are they coming from? Is it from, some people have started doing this business life from when they were in university, when they were growing up, they have served on that, their family businesses, they have got that experience. So you're probably not at the same level with them. So you have to be humble enough to learn from people, let them teach you, like webinars like this, where you learn from other people's mistakes. You get to talk to people, they educate you, they bring you up to speed and tell you there's no pride, there's no harm, there's no need in being very proud when you want to learn. If you don't know, you don't know. I mean, it's always good to be humble to ask, and people will teach you, as against just assuming you know when you don't know nothing. So a lot of us make mistakes by just a simple question would have saved the day. Just like you're trying to find a place. Instead of you to ask, you're like, you know what? I can find it my way. You burn more fuel trying to keep it when you can just ask someone, you know what? At the next turn, just do a left and you're there. So that's why we need to ask and network, learn from people that have been there before. And they would teach you their mistakes, guide you. Like they say, if you don't learn from other people's mistakes, they will use your own to learn. I repeat, if you don't learn from other people's mistakes, they use your own to learn. So if you don't learn from other people's mistakes, where they have failed, when you fail, people use your own as a case study. And that shouldn't be, so why not avoid those long distances when you can go the shorter one? So I encourage people that, the times are tough, but trust me, how determined you are and how dedicated you are to your business will give you the resilience, how, on which way to go. You want to start a real estate business, for instance. People will tell you, you know what, I want to go and, I want to buy. You don't buy in a developed area if you want to start a real estate business. You start in places that are developing. Look at the areas that you think, this, at so time, this place might come here. It might look cheap that time, but trust me, something that never grows is land. You can never get you wrong. You buy in a place where people don't think it's going to be worthwhile. In a few years, you find out the place has developed, and then you start to make a kill. Then you have a history. If you want to go and buy in a development, I mean, you have so much money that's for successful people. But if you are growing in business, you have to buy into prospective areas that have potential to grow. Developing areas, there are several of them around us. We are expanding every day. Be that as everybody's complaining, but people are still making it. So why don't you try to be the few and ask God to just give you direction on where to invest in? Don't just go blind and say, no. Ask questions. That's where the issue of asking questions coming in. You have to meet people, relate to people that will tell you, you know what, I did here, it didn't work. This is what I did. This is how I did it. And then you learn from them. That way we're able to progress and be resilient in this modern day world. It's not, I mean, take it or leave it. There's a global recession, whether you like it or not. Since after COVID, the world is yet to recover. But people are also making it, and you can be one of them, depending on how resilient you are, how determined you are to go from a small business. It doesn't matter. I mean, Nigeria, like I tell people, is the best place to live in. You just have to see what you see is what you get. It's not, if you build yourself up with so much negativity, you get negative. So be positive in all circumstances. You speak to yourself. Just like you give birth to a child, you start speaking to the child from day one. You're going to be great. Speak positive things about the child, and the child will come out to be the person you want it to be. Don't just start by negative. You know what? That business is not going to work. Stay away from negative people. Negative people will do nothing but just bring you down. Surround yourself with people that are positive-minded, that are ready to encourage you. One among, if you are with 5 lions, you'll be the 6th lion. If you are with 6 goats, 5 goats, you'll be the 6th goat. So the people you connect with and you hang around will determine how far you go. So you have to sift your circle. It's very important, the circle that you keep. That determines how far you go as well. So, I've seen great and successful like Telecommunication has told the story for me from nowhere. I have a similar story to coming from a very humble background, and God has helped me to be where I am now. But one of the things that have kept me to this level, it's pure patience, being disciplined as well. You don't end 10 naira and start to live like you have 20 naira. In fact, if you earn 10 naira, live like you have 1 naira. That's the secret. You have to be humble. Let the business grow to a stable whereby if you spend 1 naira, it will not affect your 10 naira. Not that way, the first day you make a hit like most people do, you want to buy the flashy thing, you want to live a lifestyle. No. That way, the business will crumble, I can assure you. So, but if you're determined and you're patient and you follow the rules of doing business by being patient, growing it in stages, trust me, by the grace of God, you will definitely succeed. People have sold even pure water and become billionaires. So why can't you be the same for you? It doesn't matter what it is. Everybody has his own call. You have your date with destiny. And the thoughts for God for us, the thoughts of will not if you are expecting end. So if God thinks he gave it to you with special blessings, you must know what it is. God didn't bring you to this world to suffer. He brought you here to succeed. But oftentimes, we throw away our blessing by our own hands and our actions. So you meet your helper, by your attitude, you drive him away and you say you're not succeeding. Maybe that helper is somebody you're supposed to serve. You didn't serve him. And you say, you know what? Why should I serve him? It doesn't matter his age. He might be older than you, but God has placed that thing on him to be able to guide you and teach you. It's a gift that God has given you. You can't take that away from him. So you have to learn to be humble, to learn from people, and be disciplined. Discipline is the key word here. Discipline is the key word. At the right time, you get to the right place. Let's don't be in a hurry. No hurry. We don't have to walk. No hurry at all. Life is in stages. The fact that you got there at 10 o'clock, if I get 11, we're all going to get there. So it doesn't matter how fast, but how well. So, and life, like I said, is not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's a gradual thing. When it's a sprint, you get tired easily. But if it's a marathon, you go gradual step and you cover more grounds. So in this area, I just want to encourage most of us here that are online right now to say, you know what, in these trying times, in trying to build a business from zero to nothing, we have to be patient. You have to be resilient. You have to believe in yourself. You have to learn the models of doing business. Life is in stages. You have to know whichever model works for you. Is it the one that you want to learn as an apprentice, or you want to learn by paying people to do it for you, or you want to learn by spending money? So look at what works out for you, but also look at all the various risks involved. An apprentice model, I think, is the cheapest and the easiest. Where you learn from people, you serve them. You serve them in totality, in humility. You don't serve halfway. You have to be totally committed to service with all your heart. And God sees our heart, by the way. So if you're coming to pretend, you probably will not get it. But if you come and submit honestly, trust me, even if your master doesn't pay you, God will make a way for you. Deal with your heart, with a sincere heart. Sincerity is very key in business world. If you are very sincere in terms of how you serve your master, God will definitely make a way for you. And then look at the other model. If maybe, yes, you made some money from investment that you got from your inheritance or something, and want to invest in these monies, you have to be careful. Don't go and throw your money. And this, like I tell people, if you lose this investment, this inheritance that you get to start a business, whatever you get money from, there might never be a second chance. So either look at how much you have. Say, okay, I'm ready to risk this thing to get the experts to do it for me, and then pay them. They will teach you and guide you through. The third one is, you don't want to go to an expert, you just want to take a risk, which is a disaster, by the way. You put in your monies, you could be lucky and break through, you think you're smart. That's just one of luck. Put in your money, but if you lose that money, there's no tendency that you will ever make that money again. So you probably, from a millionaire, become nobody, and that's more depressing if you ask me. People people, like I tell people, if you have ever owned a car before, and then you decide not to just want to drive the car, it's different. But if you have ever owned a car or something, and then suddenly you don't have a car again, it's worse than death. So we have to make everything possible to keep at the level we're at least if not keep it at that level, don't go below. So you have to, if you take risk, your risk appetite might be good and you succeed. If you don't succeed, you come out to square one, which is worse than death, by the way. So imagine you have 50 million and you lose all. And it depends on how old you are. You might never be that 50 million until you die. So why don't you risk the 50 million, spend like 5 million to get proposals, get the best people, look at the pros and the cons of the business. Better to lose 5 million than to lose the 50 million, by the way. Do you understand? I mean, I've seen people that they will probably spend $1 million to do feasibility study. I thought, you know what, it's not worth it. I rather we lost $1 million than lose $100 million. So it makes sense. So if you have that kind of money, I would advise you just wait, do your thing, be patient, and look at the models that work for you. I can't tell you what is that work for you. We're all different. So, but I can assure you that if you follow these models, you can never go wrong. I mean, growing business from scratch, it's not a big deal, but it's a big deal if you don't do it right. Do you understand? So, and for those that have succeeded about it, be happy for them, learn from them, you know, have positive energy, you know, be happy for people that have succeeded. Find out what it is they have done right. Find out what they did, how they did it. You know, some people don't do anything for free. Whatever they need to do it for them. You stoop low to conquer. Come down from your high horse, learn from the best, serve them. They to probably serve somebody. So, I mean, there's a price to pay for everything. If you're not willing to pay the price, trust me, you can't go far. So let's endeavor to give in our best to learn and be resilient from starting up a business from a very small level. I mean, for instance, I give my testimony. I bought a land in the time past for 4 million, and I bought the next one for 55 million after just barely how many years? About 5-6 years. Do you understand? So, because I bought into the right place, you know, somebody told me, no, buy this land, it'll be good for you. And I listened to him. He's into property. And today, his story is different. So, you know, so we have to learn from people. We have to learn to come down from our high horse, to learn from those that are ahead of us, to learn from those that have succeeded. It's not about the age thing, it's about who God has bestowed that grace upon. Learn from him. Be submissive. If you genuinely serve somebody, if he doesn't pay you, trust me, God will just make a way for you where you don't even expect it. So your time is how far you go. So we have to learn to be sincere. Sincerity in business is the #1 key factor, by the way. If you're not sincere in business, you can't go far, because karma will serve you in his own, because whatever you do to somebody, will do to you. So, and you can't do it alone. So the way you serve somebody, people will serve you. So if you do right, trust me, people will treat you rightly. You know, if you think that, you know, oh, I can get away with it, trust me, maybe at the tail end of when you think you're supposed to succeed, somebody will come and do to you what you're done to somebody else. So we have to be careful how we thrive in this business world. We have to come back to the same basics, to learn to be resilient by serving people humbly and sincerely. If there's no sincerity, trust me, we can't go far. It's temporal. And trust me, I mean, the food in microwave is not, if you want the food in microwave, it gets cooler faster than the one that warm on the pot. So it takes time. So you have to be ready to give it your time, not microwave kind of success. You have to be ready to do the real success where it will take time to grow. And growth is sure if you follow the fundamental principles. There's no shortcut to success. There's no shortcut. If you go up so fast, you come down so fast. Businesses will go in stages. We will start from 1, 2, and start growth. It's called organic growth. Do you understand? Not genetically motivated one, where you grow. If it grows organically, it will take time to grow, but trust me, it will be durable. But if you grow with too much speed, trust me, it's easy to crash. And that will not be our portion in Jesus' name. So, I mean, so basically, success, resilience in business and business world is for you to be able to be resilient. Like I said earlier on, negative energy is stronger than positive energy. If you're not careful, your negative energy will just erode your positive energy. So be careful of your thoughts, what you believe in, how you believe in it, and then you just see yourself growing. It's slowly but surely. We will get there. We will be successful. God helping us, but doing the right things. Do you understand? So you can't go and cheat someone and expect to succeed in business. It won't work. You know, it's better to have a blessed 1 naira than to have a cursed 10 naira. It doesn't matter how think you have it, but sooner or later, at the prime of your life, when you're supposed to be enjoying, your children are supposed to enjoy it, you don't lose everything. That way is not worth it. So we have to be careful of our association, like I rightly said earlier on. So who do you associate with? What are the companies that you keep? That means how far you go. What's the history of the man you are following? What's his story? Do you understand? People just come these days and they say, no. And the social media, unfortunately, is good, but it bounces because people look at they just say, oh, that guy has blown. What is his story? Where is he coming from? Is he organic growth or suddenly? And don't believe the hype. People will just come and tell you all sorts of social media. That's not the true story. So follow the right things at the right, somehow be patient. So people just package and come and tell you all sorts, and then they make you lose your form. You have to know what works for you. Be patient. The fact that I just came and said I made 1 billion naira, find out how, when, how did you do it? How is it possible? Let someone tell you, someone embedded $10 billion. How is it possible? You have to be careful what you throw out online there, what you feed yourself with. Most things out there, they're not real. So we have to be careful to know who you associate yourself with. And I mean, take time out to study, find out. Don't be in a hurry to commit yourself into something you're not very sure of, or else you'll crash, and that will not be your portion. So, basically it's, like I tell people, it's better to invest in yourself growing up than to start when it's late, so that you can make the mistakes and have the strength to stand up from where you are falling. I mean, it's not about how many times you are falling, but how well you're able to stand up while you are falling. That's the most important thing. Mistakes are bound to happen, but the mistakes that when they happen, they are lessons for you for the next level. With anybody that tells you no mistake in business is lying. Mistakes are bound to happen, but every mistake is a lesson learned. If you make a mistake, don't cry about it. Find out, okay, what did I do wrong here? What am I supposed to do well? Oh, find out, I made a mistake here. So, you have to realize, this mistake that I've made now, why did I do the mistakes? Go back to your drawing table, ask questions, and then trust me, you find your way around to the top again. It's not about saying you just come and no mistakes and you start to grow. No, mistakes don't happen. Trust me, when you happen, you probably might not have the strength to withstand the mistake when it happens at the tail end. So those small mistakes will build your capacity, will build your resilience. When those mistakes happen, they are sure to happen. When they happen, it will help you to the next level. It will strengthen you. It will give you more strength to happen. And then that way, you forge ahead and you'll be able to tell people the story. Say, you know what? Sometime I invested in XYZ. It didn't go quite well, but this is what I did wrong. Do you understand? And try to make sure that you don't make the same mistakes, because you can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results. It's not possible. Do you understand? So you have to find out what it is that you have done wrong. Maybe you're in the wrong place. Maybe you had some people that had bad energy around you. Maybe you should have asked questions. Maybe also the timing. I mean, there's a timing in every business. If you miss the time, you find, okay, maybe I didn't do it right this time around. Let me find out the best time to do it. So if you don't have those mistakes and you don't learn from those things, how do you get the experience? Experience doesn't just happen overnight. They happen over time. When our elders tell you that, you can have more new clothes than me, but you cannot have more tata clothes than I have, because they have experience, they have been through maintenance, they have grown in wisdom, in knowledge, they have had experiences in the time past, they have met all kinds of people, so they're better place to advise us as to how to do it and where to do it. So we must learn from people that are ahead of us, be patient, be humble, especially be humble, be humble, be humble. Be humble and learn from your mistakes. Don't be shy to say, I made a mistake. Mistakes are bound to happen. Anybody that says don't make mistakes is a liar. We all make mistakes. We have all lost money one way or the other. Anybody that says they not lost money is a liar. We are bound to lose money. You are bound to grow organically. You are bound to just, when you that's why you have to look at your risk appetite. You look at, what, this mistake I don't take now. How much am I willing to risk for this that will not affect me? And then you learn from it. You learn from it. You learn from it. You learn from people's mistakes. You learn from your own mistakes as well. So, basically, I encourage every one of us on this platform to know that it's all possible if you believe. We can all do it. God has placed everything inside of us to succeed. There's nobody that's born with blockhead. Everybody has a gift inside of him that is supposed to use to explore. God has given us something special. We're not meant to be where we are, but are we ready? God will not come from heaven to do these things for us. We have to do it ourselves. The grass is greener on the other side because it's being watered. If you don't water your grass, it should not be green. So you have to learn to nurture your grass wait for the time for it to till it, do what you have to do, feed it what you have to feed it with for it to be green. But if you think the other side is greener, no, it's greener there because it's been water been taken care of. So take care of your own grass, nurture it, do what you have to do about it, and then you just see it growing. You know, don't look at the other person. I'm like, I tell people, say, if you're running, God did not give us eyes behind, because if you're running with somebody, take this as a practical example. I want you to look behind. You find out that the person behind will run after you, run past you. So you're always better off running and facing your front. Or as when you're looking back, people come and run past you. So always stay focused. You understand? Focused. Place where you're going to, be focused. Focus, learn, humble. You know, it's like they say, empty vessels make the loudest noise. If you see what with a jug that water, it doesn't make noise. So just be humble. You don't have to impress. You're not living your life to impress anybody. Come into this world and fulfill destiny. God has brought us here to fulfill his destiny, to fulfill the purpose. Find out what your purpose is and learn to fulfill it. We all have a purpose. We have a purpose to fulfill, and we must find out, locate that purpose so we can fulfill that purpose. Not just thinking that you want to be. No, it doesn't have to be. It could be any business, anything that God brings out of you. If you wait and learn from different stages, I can guarantee you there's no way you'll not succeed. And be committed to it. Commitment is very key. And don't do multiple things at the same time. A lot of people want to do business. No, if you chase two rats, the tendency that you do both of them is key. You can't catch two at the same time. So what you do is you chase one rat at a time, catch that rat, then go for the second one. If you want to chase two rats, you lose all the rats now. So focus is commitment and focus. Do one thing at a time. Today you're in real estate, tomorrow you're in forex. No, stay focused and be resilient in focusing on what you're doing. Find out what the template is and do the time. Give it the time that it deserves to make you grow. There's no hurry in life. Everybody has their cross to carry. Everybody has their destination. But believe God that, you know what? This thing that God has put inside of me will make me succeed, and follow it diligently, one at a time. Not today here of forex, tomorrow here of real estate. No. Think of one thing that you think you have a flair for. There's something, this thing that I think I have a flair for this thing. Follow it up to the end. Then when you conquer that one, then start another one. Don't just start, today you're doing pharmaceuticals. No, one at a time. I didn't build my businesses one at a time. It took me time. I looked at the area where I conquered the area. I started pharmaceutical business, trying to do new areas. I was in, oil and gas. Now I have a school that we've started now about 12 years, my wife and I. We've been on that for 12 years now. I can tell you, it's not easy. We started with only 2 children. And today, in our old site, we have about 500. And we just started a new one now, to the glory of God. And like I always tell myself, something, we're going to grow organically. It doesn't matter when they come like that. Don't think they have people. If God gives you all, they will stay. Don't run after people. They will come when you do the right thing. So let's stay focused. To be resilient, you have to be focused. There are bound to be challenging times when you're starting, when you're finding a business. It's not bread and butter. Trust me, it's not bread and butter. It's tough out there, but with commitment and focus, you will conquer without a doubt. Everybody is born to succeed, and you have to believe in yourself. Follow one thing at a time, trusting God, and you will indeed succeed. God doesn't hate anybody. He loves us so much. He deposited something in every one of us that will make us succeed. And it's already there. I just had the Holy Spirit to just teach you how it is to succeed. You learn. And these things will come when you're committed, though. If you're not committed, you want to do microwave business, as you climb, go. That's how you will come down. But that will not be your portion. So at this juncture, let me not bore you too much of my talks. I'd like to take any questions and answers at the moment right now. So.
Thank you so much, Justice. What an amazing session. I'm excited. Thank you so much for sharing from your wealth of experience. And I'm really excited to be putting in. My note is full here. My mind is full here. So much to put to work. Likewise, our audience too. What will you guys say to Justice, Doctor? What will you all do right now? Can you celebrate this amazing leader that we have? What will you say? Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Putting your emojis right there. That's the best you can do. I'm telling you, that's the best you can do. 1 million. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. That's the word. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Fantastic. Oh, look at the fire emojis there. Fantastic. That was an amazing session as usual. Justice Osagie, thank you so much. We have Dr. Stephen. So right now, let's take questions that we have for these two great minds. Like I do tell you, a lot of time it is not what you get from them. It is also the question that you can use to get what you have, what you want from a lot of these wealthy people. When they share their stories, it's good. But when you have enough questions to get out some of the things that they did not say, if you have the right questions, they will tell you the right answers. So they are here for us, everyone. Let's get that rolling. Dr. Stephen, are you back, sir? We have questions already. Doctor, are you there,
Yes,
sir?
I'm back. I'm here.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic.
That
Thank
was
you
a
so
great
much.
one. My billionaire friend. That was a great one.
Wow. Thank you. So let me get to work. Temitope says, how does, okay, I think this is for Dr. Stephen. How does he manage his family life and his business? So how does Dr. Stephen manage his family life and business? And because these are two strong personality, I'm sure they could have one or two views they could share from different perspective. So if you have anyone, Dr. Osagie, you can also top up. Dr. Stephen, how do you manage your family life and business side?
Well, good questions. I'm curious to also hear from Dr. Justice Osagie.
Okay.
Has older children. I
See,
recently saw family
see,
pictures.
like right now, as I speak with you, my wife and I just took off to Doha to just go and have a quiet time. You have to just rest. You have to be intentional about making time. Like for me, for instance, now when it's 9 o'clock, my phones go off. You have to spend time with your family. You have to create. You have to be intentional. Family is key and it's first. You have to take out a day or two to spend time with them, talk with them. I mean, don't have my wife alone. My kids are back home in Nigeria, but she just said, with our anniversary, let's get out. You 5 days, spend time, talk to yourselves. Actually did this because of Steve. I've never done this before. I really don't do this. I'm not a media person, but Steve has been on my case. I'm a very private person. Do you understand? But I know family is key, because this is your future. So if you're working and there's no family, then what are you working for? Who are you leaving legacy for? The God told us of generational transfer. So if you are looking for the money and family is lost, you have just wasted your life. So you must create time. You must be intentional. You must make out time. Yes, and there will be holiday seasons where you just sit down with them, weekends. I tell my big friends, I say, you know what? This thing will not work. One of the billionaire friends that just died today, for instance, and that's life for you. It doesn't tell you, it doesn't give you a notice. So what memories of you with your family have when you're not there?
Wow.
What are the memories you're going to live with them?
Wow.
It's not about the money. If you make the money and there's nobody to take the money to the next level, you're failed. Like I tell people, it is easier to make the money than to keep it. Sustenance is the most difficult task in a business empire. To sustain a business, it's harder than making money to make the business. Because like I tell people, if you build, it can take you minimum 1 year to build a mansion. Just one dynamite, the whole thing will come down in 1 second. So you have to look at transfer. And this is where family comes in. What are the values that you have? That's why you have to also know the kind of people that you relate with. You create time for family. They want to ask questions. Answer them, talk with them. They learn. I have a teenage son, and I tell him, I say, these are things you have to. I tell him, I just chat with him. I say, in university now, I want you to have a bit of everything. I talk with him. I say, be careful where you go to. Kind of where let him be free with you. But if you're not there for him, who will he talk
to? Thank you so much, Justice.
I mean,
Dr. Stephen,
I could add to that. I mean, so one of the things I do in my case, I'm not as rich as Justice, so he's So I'm still hustling. What I'm saying is that he is still is coming to that retirement phase. He's way older than I do, so he's coming to that retirement phase. Me, I still have to hustle. I'm still a young man. So I still work a lot more than he does. So I can't say I will switch off my phone by 9. However, I complement. What I do is complement. It's holiday time, for example. My wife and kids are already in Dubai for the summer holiday. They will be spending the remaining half, with me in the US, and we'll be having a great time. So I make sure I complement. Every year we do like 4 vacations together. Every year is a long, and use those time to bond, to connect. But even while I'm away, because I'm running businesses in different continents. We still had a Zoom meeting. I mean, video messaging last night. Still had a lot of talk and correction and all of. It's important, just like he said. Family is important. They really are your wealth. You see, all these other things are just for show. The real, legacy you have for perpetuation of wealth, for retention of wealth, for transgenerational wealth is your family, right? There's no point working so hard and I'm not saying they need to run the business, but they are the ones that will keep the legacy. Andrew Rockefeller. The legacy of George Rockefeller has been kept through, of course, the family of his he built, but it through his fourth generation. They're able to carry that name, the library, the endowment fund, right? The next generation is able to continue that name and legacy. So family is important. You must give it everything. But please, let me say this to particularly those who are younger. Do not become lazy. Should not be an excuse for some men who need to go to work, who need to hustle. And then family has become the excuse. I want to be this. I'm like, what are you talking about? You should work harder because of your family. You should build a great empire because you want to give something lasting to your family. So not to become lazy, right? And you are not able to provide for your family. So very important that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Stephen and Dr. Osagie. Now, I have so many questions here, but because of the other sections that we have, I will just put them together in such a way that both leaders can just share their points on them. I'll just group them together. So the first question that will stand alone is, Dr. Sage, can you please mention the name of your school and location, and also your social media handles? Some people are really asking that they want to follow you if you're on any social media, sir. The name of your school and location, then we'll now take the general question.
The name of my school is Jewels Leading Light International. It's in Abuja. Jewels Leading Light International. It's in Abuja. I'm not a very social media person, so to speak. So actually, I mean, just brought me out to the media now. He's been at it for years, for months now. But But my wife is
not a social media person. However, I think you guys can search his name on Instagram.
My wife is a parental coach. She's an educationist, a chartered accountant, educationist. She went to school, by the way. Then I've supported her the last 12 years, and I'm happy I did. So, so I'm a very good experience on how businesses grow, and I've started from nothing. So to where we are right now. So it's not been.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can hear you, doctor.
So I'm saying that Dr. Osagie is not a social media person. Research his Instagram because he doesn't even know his Instagram handle. For sure. But if you see Instagram, you will see it. You will see it on Instagram. He posts maybe once in 1 year, but you shall see him, you know. So you can follow him there. But if you go to my TikTok, you will have seen a lot of my videos with him. And they're very powerful videos. They're very inspirational. Myself and him play golf often. So you see a lot of the short video clips that we've done together. But of course, the school, I'm sure the school has social media handle.
Yeah.
So maybe he wants to give us that for those who, but one of the best school, I've never seen that type of school. Over $5 million invested in a school, a story. I was still there. I've been there like more than 5 times. You probably think I'm a shareholder. You know, I've just been so excited about the project. And so those of you in Abuja, you know people in Abuja, and godly values. So you want a school that quality, excellence, but godly value, right? So you want to, so if you can give us the name of the school so they can go to the handles, and the prices are reasonable.
West Light International. That's International.
I think someone just put the website, j.jewelsleadinglights.com. Is that correct?
Yes.
j.jewelsleadinglights.com. The light has an S.
Yes.
j.jewelsleadinglights.com. Right. So yeah, but beautiful school. You want to see how you can. And their fees are very reasonable. I believe one of these days, my wife will definitely host Mrs. Osagie. I mean, she does a lot with children, coaching, parenting, and all of that.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Stephen. Thank you so much, Dr. Osagie. I'll just take one more questions for the two of you. I'm going to just put it all together in one because of the second session that should have started by now. So, number one, how can I build wealth from business that I'm already making, that I've started, and how can I sustain it? So that's what I have done here. I'm seeing somebody saying he's into real estate. How can I get acres of land? I'm doing business. How can I grow exponentially? So I'm just putting all of that together for both of you. You can just share your views on this so that we can call it a day because of the other session that should have started. How can I make more money from a business to build wealth? And how can I sustain my wealth? Anyone can confess.
Like I said earlier on, I mean, you have to go through the fundamentals of building. Don't be in a hurry. Like I said, you have money, go ask the right questions. The fact that you made money now, don't risk your money. Ask those questions. If you have not been an apprentice, look for the experts to teach you. It's a better option than trying to risk. Else, you lose the whole money, and you probably might never make it again. The opportunity comes once in a lifetime. So stay in your lane, and I mean, moderate your risk level.
Moderate your risk level.
Yes, you grow at the same time. Don't force it. Don't be in a hurry. If you hurriedly enter into, you hurriedly come out. It's patience. I mean, everybody has their race. You have to understand that, quite frankly. The fact that this man started and made it in 1 year doesn't mean make it in 1 year. Be patient. Do your time. If you have your money, look at, moderate your risk level. What is it I'm doing? This I'm going to, is it worth it? Ask people, ask questions. Humble yourself to ask questions. Don't be in a hurry.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Justice. Doctor?
Yeah, so my and I agree with Dr. Osagie. You cannot, I always say that the shortest cut to success only lengthens the journey. Anytime you're looking for shortcut to success, you are just lengthening the success. And the shortest cut I know is mentorship, right? Dr. Osagie just didn't have time to share a story. You will always hear me say, if you are not used, you will not be useful. It's from him I got that quote. He shared with me one time how he used to be an apprentice to a particular white man, carry his bag. They would travel all over the world, and all his friends were mocking him, right? And say, see, you are a rubber stamp. You are just, you're Iboma, just they use you, you know. And one day I had to tell them, I said, but they are using me. Sometimes we are entering private jet that they use me. We they travel, go London, that they use me. Go Dubai, that they use me. Use, right? Where you don't go. So that's what really helped us to scale. When we see businesses we want to do, we look for people who are ahead, you know, ahead, and see how we can be part of it. For me, for example, I have a vision. I mean, we have a vision of over 200 estates. Right now, we have 30 something across the globe. Part of the way to add value to those estates is to eventually own schools there, right? Whether we'll be the owner of the school or we'll do franchise. Now, I have not started that. And then my friend is building a school. Right? The least I can do is to always go there, you know, give them moral support, do promotion that I can do on my social media platform. Am I making sense at all? And
Yes,
build a relationship so that when I need to start that, at least I can learn, right, from the experiences he has. But we don't learn that. Unfortunately, most people don't do that in business, where you need to partner. Look at what has happened. I told somebody, I said, the closeness of Dangote and Otedola in recent years is not only just because they've over time grown friendship. It's also the fact that Dangote for the first time was going to a sector that he really does not have enough experience in. And Otedola understands that sector well. I just posted on Otedola's Instagram page. I said the recent proactive move by Dangote, because he posted the picture of the two of them just a few minutes ago. So my comment on Otedola's page was that, you know, the recent proactive, you know, Dangote has not always been proactive with media, right? And I said the recent proactive move by Dangote is like the voice of Jacob or the hand of Esau. And I said, cheers to friendship. You know, Otedola, I see your hand, right? But because if you know Dangote, how many of you know he's a very conservative guy, very shy guy, doesn't even want to talk to any media. Are we together now?
Yes.
A different version of him. Friendship, mentorship is powerful. It's more than people think business is products. Business is assets. No, business is knowledge capital, right? It's knowledge capital. So you want to scale your business, you want to grow your business. Who is in that sector that is ahead of you? Go and meet them, right? If you will be handling something for them, am I making sense at all? That they are not good at, in exchange to get proximity. Am I making sense at all now? And they don't need to ask for it. It's just wisdom, because even if they are busy, they'll just remember that, well, I'll still need this guy for this thing. So either way, let me just create the time. Am I making sense at all? I've not made it a secret that I handle Dr. Cosmos' social media digital assets, right? He didn't need to beg me for it, right? But I knew I had friends. You now have 100,000 on Instagram. So how? You know, he was shocked. But that is something we're beginning to do. And by the way, you see a lot more of him over time. But with that now, I can't say, I want to see you, sir. And he will be like, I'm busy. Am I making sense at all? So because some of you think it's money, I don't have money to access mentors. There is still an area you have strength that they may not have strength. Go with that area first. Don't go with, come and mentor me, come and help me. come and say, ah, sir, can I help you with this aspect? Right? They will first be watching you with two eyes, of course, with skepticism, right? With, what's he looking for? But over time, as you really, really get results for them in those areas, they bring you closer. They start asking you questions, right? And that's how you can really scale. Get those who are ahead of you, right, to be on your corner. And I promise you, you'll move your business to the next level.
Wow. Thank you so much, Doctor. Let's have a last word from our parting word, from Dr. Osagie. What will be the parting word today? Thank you so much for jumping in your busy schedule. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much. By the way, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a